Hello everyone, good afternoon. Myself, Dr. Aditi Fapale, and I welcome you all to my class. I would just like to give short introduction about myself. So, I am teaching biology on this platform since June this year. I have pursued PhD in diabetes, masters in bioanalytical sciences, BSc in biochemistry, as well as B.Ed in biology. I had topped the entrance exam, which was conducted by Mumbai University for masters. Then I was also a topper during my B.Ed exam in my college. This is 13th year of my teaching going on, and I really enjoy teaching. It's my passion. In my career spanning of this 12 and a half years, I have taught students of all boards, that is state board, CBSE board, ICSE board, as well as semi English school students. I try my best to give my best to each and every student who is sitting in front of me. You can use my code APMAHA to unlock free classes as well as to get discounts on plus subscriptions. Okay, I'll just tell you this for YouTube. Okay, there is a special YouTube referral code, and my YouTube referral code is APMAM Live. As you can see, AP stands for my initials, that is Aditi Fapale. So APMAM Live. So please do use my YouTube referral code as well. Chalo. So let's move further. Today is the second lecture on this particular topic. That is chapter 1 is the first topic in 11th standard. The topic name is Living World. Yesterday I started with it. So as you can see this slide, you can see different living things and non-living things over here. And I'm pretty sure you will be able to identify them. As you can see, ant, bat, flower, snake, squirrel, frog, caterpillar, fish, plant. So basically these are living things. And what are non-living things? Can you guess? Yes, that balloon, you can see hot air balloon. You can see a toy, wooden toy, which is in the form of horse, of course. Then a shoe, a rugby ball. So basically these are non-living things. We had seen this slide also yesterday. These are the basic principles of life, and these are the characteristics, in fact, which help us to distinguish between living and non living things. Correct? So, yesterday I spoke about all these points. If you see my yesterday's lecture, I have spoken about growth in detail, right? What is growth? What is development? Then growth in living things. There was a twist, which was a new thing added to 11th standard, that is growth in non-living things. Yes, you heard it right. Basically, up to 10th standard, we all have learned that growth is a characteristic feature which is seen only in living things, right? But that's not so. In some non-living things, of course, under certain conditions, growth is also seen. So I give you examples such as that of cloud, boulders, mountains. So if you have missed my yesterday's lecture, please go through it, and you will definitely get immense knowledge from it. So yesterday I have discussed about growth, growth in living things and non-living things. Then I also spoke in detail about metabolism. What is metabolism? What are different types of metabolism? Correct? Anabolic reactions, catabolic reactions. I gave you certain examples. So, in detail, I spoke about metabolism. So, I again request you all to see that lecture. Also, in short, we had spoken about what is nutrition, what is movement, then reproduction, excretion, irritability, and respiration. Correct? And all these things are seen in living organisms but not in non-living organisms. Correct? So this is what we did yesterday. And yes, most important part, how can I forget that? At the end, I had taken a poll. Of course, that was a recorded session, but a poll is conducted. It means there are certain questions, there are certain MCQs at the end. So please go through them as well. It will certainly help you. Chalo. So this was about what I did yesterday in my class. Excuse me, I'll just have a sip of water and then we'll continue. Yes, chalo. So let's move further. The third and very important characteristic which I will be discussing today is reproduction. है ना? So what is reproduction? First of all, of course, reproduction is a biological process like many other biological processes which we already know, and it is seen in living organisms, of course, and it gives rise to young ones. The young ones are called as offsprings. They are also known as progeny. Very important over here is similar to its own kind. Fine? So I'll just repeat it again. What is reproduction? Reproduction is a biological process in which an organism gives rise to young ones, that is its offsprings or progeny, of its own kind, okay, or similar to its own kind. Actually, what do you mean by that? It's very simple. See, cat, we know that cat will always give birth to a small cat, है ना? उसको हम kitten कहते हैं. Then a dog will always give birth to a dog, that is small puppies. If you plant a chiku seed, of course it will give you a chiku plant, correct? It won't give you a mango tree. Similarly, if you plant a rose stem, let's say, in your home garden, you will get a rose plant out of it. You won't get a neem tree out of it, correct? So what does these examples tell you? That any living organism, whether it is plant, whether it is animal, for that matter even human beings, correct, will give birth to the offsprings of its own kind. Humans will always produce human babies only. They won't produce something else. Have you seen an elephant giving birth to a cat? No, that's not possible. Elephant will give birth to baby elephant. Correct? And this holds true for every living organism present on the earth, whether they are reproducing sexually or asexually. Fine? Now, what happens is the offsprings which are produced by this process, they grow, then they mature, and they turn into, or I would say, they produce new offsprings. Correct? The offspring which is just born, it does not have reproduction capacity at that time, right? So that offspring will grow, it will develop. The physical organs as well as reproductive organs in that organism will grow, develop, and of course it takes time. The time period varies from different organisms, and ultimately, when it is ready or when the organism becomes mature, in other words, when the reproductive organs become mature, then that offspring will produce a new offspring. Correct? And not to forget, of its own kind. So here you can see some pictures I have put in this slides. Can you see reproduction? And you can see a male, female, and a small child in between them. So basically, humans, they have given birth to human, small human, right? And then you can see also flowers over there. So orange flower and red flower, you get orange flower out of it, yellow and red flower, and you get orange flower. What is that honeybee doing there? Can you guess? What is that process known as? Pollination. Yes, it is known as pollination. So honeybees are very important. Pollination is prerequisite. That is, it's a very important step before fertilization, as we all know. Correct? So it helps in pollination. That is, it carries the pollen grain from one flower and from male flower of a plant, and it carries it and it will dust that pollen grain onto the female parts, okay, of a female flower. This is known as pollination. And then when male gamete female gamete fuse, fertilization takes place. We will be learning about these things in detail in further chapters. Right now, let's concentrate on what is given in this particular chapter. Very basics but important. What is the significance of reproduction? Why do you think reproduction is required? Significance also means importance, correct? So, see, every living process has got its own importance. Do you agree? Every living process has got its unique importance, its significance. So, this process also must have some importance. What is it? Very important. You can see the 3 points there. I'll explain them. Very first point, it reproduction process helps to maintain continuity of life on earth, right? It helps to maintain continuity of life on earth. That's because by this process, an organism is able to produce young ones, that is offsprings of its own kind, correct? So any living organism, it undergoes this process of reproduction and it produces new offsprings of its own kind. Thus, it is able to maintain life on earth. Suppose any particular organism stops reproducing, or let's say all living organisms on this earth suddenly stop reproducing, then what will happen? What do you expect? Whatever living organisms are already present on the earth, they will survive, of course, but they will survive only for a limited period of time because all living organisms have got a certain lifespan. है ना? So they will die at one point of life. Correct? They are not immortal. None of the living organisms is immortal. Every living being which is born, it will die someday. We all know that. So, if this process stops, then already whatever organisms are present on the earth, they will live, they will survive, but only up to a certain time. And that is up to their lifespan or whatever, up to a certain time, which will be different for different organisms. And then one by one, all these organisms will start becoming extinct from the surface of the earth. You won't find them, correct? Because reproduction process has stopped. So new generations have stopped. There are no new generations. So no new generations means the continuity of life on earth is not possible. It is simply not possible. It will come to a standstill. I hope this is clear. Same thing goes to the next point. It enables continuity of a species generation after generation, right? So we know that all living organisms, all they belong to different species. So all these species reproduce. So when they reproduce, they are giving birth to, the same species. So if at all any species, for that matter, if it stops reproduction, then what do you expect? After a while, after certain time, जो भी उस species का lifespan है तब तक वो रहेगा जितने already present है on the earth. And after a while, then that species will permanently become extinct from the surface of the earth because no new generation of that particular species is formed. Thus, this reproduction, it helps to maintain or it helps to enable the continuity of species generation after generation. So if you want any species for the matter to live for many years, right, generation after generation, for many generations, then this process is a must. Correct? Reproduction process is a must. Third point, again, it is very important point. It helps in evolution of the species. How does reproduction help in evolution of a species? Actually, there are two types of reproductions. Of course, we will be talking about it in detail. It's there in the next slide itself. So, there are two types of reproductions, asexual and sexual. So, sexual reproduction, it helps in evolution of the species. How does it help in evolution of the species? I will explain. Let's move further. Yes. So, as you all can see, types of reproduction. There are two types of reproduction, asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. Let's first discuss about asexual reproduction. What is it? First of all, it involves only one parent. No two parents are present in this case. Only one parent is involved. No gametes are produced, no gametes are formed. What are gametes? These are reproductive cells, or they are known as sex cells. Correct? So there are two types of gametes, male gametes and female gametes. But in this case, no gametes are formed. Gametes are not formed, therefore, of course, there's no fertilization. What do you mean by fertilization? When the two gametes, male gamete and female gamete, when they fuse, correct, that process is called as fertilization. But in this case, gametes are only not formed, then obviously fertilization का तो सवाल ही पैदा नहीं होता. Correct? Right. So, only it involves only one parent, no gametes, therefore no fertilization. Third point is very important, please pay attention. Offsprings are morphologically and genetically same as parents and they are called as clones. Now, offsprings that are produced, they are always morphologically and genetically identical to the parent. Identical to the parent, exact same, Xerox copy of that of parent. Why so? That's because only one parent is involved, understand. Only one parent is involved in this process. Now this one parent, it produces the offsprings. When it does so, it passes its own genetic material, correct? Which is mostly DNA, that is deoxyribonucleic acid. So what does this what does this parent do? A parent cell or a parent? It passes when it will produce a new offspring, it passes its own genetic material exactly as it is, without any changes, into the new offsprings that it will produce. Right? So, if a parent is producing one offspring, parent will transfer its genetic material, its DNA, let's say, into that one offspring as it is, without any changes. So, obviously, if the same DNA is coming, correct, into the offspring as that of the parent, then obviously that offspring will be morphologically and genetically identical to the parent. Morphologically means what? The external characteristics. All the external characteristics, the appearance would be exactly same as that of the parent. Right? And what about genetically identical? It means the genes. The total number of genes, the structure of genes, the function of genes. Okay, all this will also be exactly same as that of the parent, right? Especially the genes and their structure, correct? So, therefore we say that the offsprings are morphologically and genetically identical to the parent. Acha, what if more than one offsprings are produced from that same parent? I repeat, if the same parent, instead of giving birth to a single offspring, let's say if it is giving birth to 10 offsprings, then what do you expect? Again, it's the same thing. If only one parent is involved, and let's say if it is producing 10 offsprings, what it will do is, it will multiply, it will replicate the genetic material, the DNA, it will replicate it, it will multiply it into 10 copies, correct? And all those 10 copies of DNA or that genetic material would be identical, and this parent will pass on Okay, each genetic material का copy, that is DNA का copy, right, to each offspring that it is producing. Fine, I repeat. So if one parent is giving birth to, let's say, 10 offsprings, then that parent will replicate or multiply the genetic material 10 times. So 10 copies of DNA would be generated, and each offspring will get one copy of that DNA or that genetic material. And all those 10 copies are identical. So obviously, if the DNA is identical, again, the same thing, all the 10 offsprings would be morphologically and genetically identical to the parent, right? To the parent. And obviously, they will be morphologically and genetically identical to each other as well. All the 10, they have same DNA, same genetic material, so they will be morphologically and genetically identical to themselves as well and to the parent. Correct? So such offsprings which are morphologically and genetically identical to the parent as well as each other are termed as clones. Very important, always remember this. I just said definition of clones. Fine. So ये क्या था? Clone का definition. It is asked in exams in answer in one sentence or as an MCQ. ठीक है? तो remember that. So clones are always produced by asexual reproduction only. Fine. Example: amoeba. Amoeba you all know, correct? Unicellular, that is single celled amoeba. Then chlamydomonas. What is chlamydomonas? Green algae. ठीक है? They reproduce by asexual methods. In amoeba, binary fission is seen, which is asexual method of reproduction. And in chlamydomonas, right, it reproduces by spores. Okay, and especially zoospores are responsible for uh, reproduction in chlamydomonas, that is green algae. And what are zoospores? Zoospores are the spores which are motile. That means they can move. Fine. And each spore, it obtains, the parent cell produces many spores, zoospores, and when they become mature, they come out of the parent cell and they obtain nutrition and they grow and develop into new chlamydomonas. ठीक है? It's an asexual method of reproduction. All the new offsprings, all the new chlamydomonas, they will be identical to each other. Same in amoeba, right? A binary fission, amoeba. So amoeba, a single parent cell, it divides by mitosis, and two equal daughter cells are formed. Equal because both will contain same amount of DNA and cytoplasm, correct? So both of them are identical, and two daughter cells are formed from one parent cell. Therefore, that process is called as binary fission. Simple. It's an asexual method of reproduction. Okay, I hope that's clear. Now, moving to the sexual reproduction. Sexual reproduction, it involves two parents, right? That is male and female. So, male body produces male gametes, female body produces female gametes, correct? And this male gamete and female gamete, they fuse. This fusion is called as fertilization. Okay, so in plants, if we are talking about plants, then the male gametes are present inside the pollen grains and the female gametes are called as ova or egg, correct, which are produced within the embryo sac, that is female gametophyte. And this egg nuclei and pollen grain के अंदर जो मेल गैमेट्स होते हैं उसके न्यूक्लियाई, they will fuse and fertilization process takes place. So this is in plants. What about in animals? In animals, let's take example of humans. Most of the mammals, all mammals in fact, including humans, they reproduce by sexual reproduction. So let's take example of humans. Male body produces male gametes. What are they called as? spermatozoa, or short form is sperms, right? And female gametes are known as ovum or egg. So spermatozoa, that is sperms and egg. One sperm and one egg fuses. One more important point, gametes are always haploid. What do you mean by haploid? It is indicated by small letter n. What does it mean? Haploid means each gamete contains only one set of chromosomes, right? So in humans, if we are taking example, the male gamete or female gamete, each one of it has got 23 chromosomes. Fine? Okay. So when they fuse, when sperm and ovum fuse, the process is called as fertilization, and it gives rise to a zygote, a structure known as zygote, which is diploid. कैसे? N plus N, sperm plus ovum, N plus N equals to 2N. Correct? So that is diploid. Zygote is diploid, indicated by 2N, and it means zygote contains two sets of chromosomes. Simple. So if n is 23 in humans, then 2n would be 23 into 2, that is 46. So 46 chromosomes are present in all the diploid cells of human beings. And the first diploid cell which is formed on sexual reproduction in all animals who reproduce sexually, including humans, the first living cell which is diploid, okay, and it is known as zygote. Always remember that. Okay, so zygote further divides, and then many cells are formed, then from it tissues are formed. Cellular organization we discussed in my yesterday's class, I hope you all remember. So zygote, then it's a cell, diploid cell, then by mitosis it will divide, two more cells will be formed in the same manner from 2 to 4, 4 to 6, 6 to 8, 8 to 16, then 32, so on and so forth. So many cells are formed, all are diploid, they are formed by mitosis. So it's a equational division, it's not a reduction division. So they all will be diploid. Ultimately from cells, tissues are formed, then organs are formed, then organ systems are formed, and finally an organism is formed. Correct? Fine. So sexual reproduction, it involves two parents, male and female. Then both of them produce male and female gametes, of course, in their respective bodies. And union, या fusion of male gamete and female gamete is called as fertilization. Now, in this case, see, offsprings are morphologically and genetically different from each of the parent. Why so? Why so? That's because two different DNAs are mixing. Understand? है ना? Two different DNAs are getting mixed. Father का DNA or male DNA and mother DNA. Okay, female DNA. So two different DNAs are getting mixed, and a new DNA is formed. Combination of father and mother's DNA gives rise to new DNA. Correct? So the new DNA is a mixture of genes from mother and father, right? So obviously the DNA which is present in the offspring, correct, which is born by sexual reproduction, so it, that offspring, that child, if you are talking about humans, that child will have some characters that of a father and some characters like that of a mother, right? And it will also have some different and new characters of its own. Do you agree? Correct? कुछ characters father जैसे, कुछ characters mother जैसे, and obviously कुछ unique characters खुद के. Correct? So that is a unique feature of sexual reproduction. Because two DNAs are getting mixed, the offsprings are not identical. जो offspring बनेगा, it will not be identical to either of the parent. It won't be identical to father. It also won't be identical to mother. अच्छा, it may look similar to father or mother, okay, but not identical. Similar मतलब थोड़ा थोड़ा पापा जैसा दिख सकता है या थोड़ा ममा जैसा दिख सकता है, क्योंकि थोड़े पापा के जीन्स आए, थोड़े ममा के जीन्स आए हैं, बट इट वोंट बी आइडेंटिकल टू फादर और मदर. उसका जेरोक्स कॉपी उनके नहीं होगा. द रीजन both the DNAs have got mixed and a new DNA has been formed. So understand there is difference in being similar and being identical. Similar मतलब उसके जैसा, ओके, लाइक हिम, लाइक हर. आइडेंटिकल मतलब एग्जैक्ट जेरोक्स कॉपी. ठीक है, चलो अंडरस्टैंड दिस, वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. सो लेट्स मूव फर्दर. Yes, this is something, again, an interesting slide. Many organisms do not reproduce. For example, mules, sterile worker bees, infertile human couples. Now, let's discuss these examples one by one. First of all, what are mules? क्या है mules? क्या है? Mules, they are hybrid. Understand? Produced by breeding male donkey and female horse. I repeat, mules are produced by breeding, okay, cross breeding. उसको cross breeding कहते हैं. A male donkey with a female horse. So इन दोनों को जब आप breed करोगे, the new offspring that you obtain are known as mules. Okay, you call it as mule. So mules are sterile. Understand? मतलब mules themselves, they do not have capacity of reproduction. Mules are not able to reproduce. Okay, that means they won't give birth to new mules. नए mules को वो पैदा नहीं कर सकते because they are infertile. They are sterile. I hope this is clear. Correct? But so that means अगर हमें बहुत सारे mules चाहिए, आज मैंने क्रॉस ब्रीडिंग किया, मेल डोंकी एंड फीमेल हॉर्स, एंड आई गॉट अ म्यूल, लेट्स से, एंड अगेन आफ्टर फ्यू डेज आई वांट, या आफ्टर फ्यू मंथ्स आई वांट म्यूल. So every time you want a mule, you will always have to do this crossbreeding experiment between male donkey and female horse. Mules खुद से reproduction नहीं कर सकते, that's for sure. I hope this is clear. But does that mean कि mules are a non-living thing? They suddenly turned into non-living thing? Does it means that? Of course not. Mules are living things, whether they are able to reproduce or whether they are not able to reproduce. They are living things. है ना, म्यूल स्टेराइल है, इनफर्टाइल है, दे आर नॉट एबल टू रिप्रोड्यूस. तो इसका मतलब ये तो नहीं है कि वो नॉन लिविंग थिंग में कन्वर्ट हो गए. I hope you got this point. Let's see the next example. Sterile worker bees. Now, what are sterile worker bees? Bees तो सबको पता है, right? And they collect nectar from the flowers, and they make, they make honey, they make beehives, they make honey. Now and they live together in colonies. There are 3 different types of honeybees, okay, and they live together in a beehive. ठीक है? Now, there are 3 types of honeybees. One is queen honeybee, she is a female. Then drones, okay, drone honeybee or drones, they are males. And third, the sterile worker bees. Even they are females, but as the name suggests, they are sterile. Worker bees है ना, but they are sterile. Now, what do you mean by that? The name itself is suggesting something to you. Queen honeybee, Maharani. Okay, queen honeybee. The name itself, tells us more about her. Indeed, she is a queen. She does not do any work. She just gives orders. Okay? To drone or to worker bees. She does not do any kind of work. उसका एक ही काम है. क्या है? Reproduction. She will do breeding or mating with the male drone bees, and she will produce different types of honeybees. Correct? She feeds on royal jelly. She eats royal jelly and she lives royally. Indeed, the name suggests she is a queen. बाकी वो और कुछ काम नहीं करती है. Right? Then, drone honeybee, as I just said, they are males. है ना? So, they are also involved in reproduction, mating and breeding with the queen honeybee. अच्छा, एक beehive में, or let us put in this way, In one colony of honeybees, there can be only one queen bee. रानी एक ही हो सकती है, ठीक है? Only one queen bee. Drones can be many. That is, male honeybees can be many. So she mates with many of them. Several drones के साथ she mates so that large population of different honeybees is produced. ठीक है? And do not forget that she feeds on royal jelly. ये याद रखना. Coming to the drone honeybees, I just told you they are males. Many of them are present. They are also involved in mating with queen honeybee. The third one, which is of our interest, sterile worker bees. So as the name suggests, first of all, they do a lot of work. बहुत काम करते हैं, काम ही करते रहते हैं. जब से पैदा होते हैं until they die, their life is full of work, work, work and only work. That's why the name worker bees. They are the ones who collect the nectar from the flowers. Correct? They are the ones who are involved in building up a beehive. ठीक है? They are the ones who make honey. है ना? They also nurture, take care of the offsprings which are produced by queen honeybee. उनका देखभाल करना, उनको खिलाना पिलाना देखभाल करना, वो सब भी काम is done by these worker bees. Basically, all kind of work is done by worker bees. But unfortunately, they are sterile. मतलब they cannot reproduce. They are not able to give birth, just as queen honeybee or drone honeybee. The sterile worker bees they are unlike them. मतलब they cannot reproduce, they cannot give birth to new worker bees. तो चाहे ड्रोन हो या वर्कर बी हो या क्वीन नई पैदा करनी हो, तो who does this? Queen honeybee, right? But sterile worker bees, though they are female, they are involved only in different sort of work, but they cannot produce new worker bee. Always remember that. Okay, they are sterile. ठीक है? Okay, but does that mean कि even if they are sterile, fine, okay, that means they are not able to reproduce, but does that mean that they have got converted to non-living thing? अपने आप non-living thing में convert हो गए? ऐसा है क्या? No ना. Even if they are not able to reproduce, understand they are still living beings. They have not magically converted into non-living things. Very important point. The third example, infertile human couples. अपना खुद का example ले लो. There are so many human couples. There are so many male females couples who are not able to give birth to a child. हाँ, आपके फैमिली में होगा, फ्रेंड सर्कल में होगा, देखा हुआ जाना पहचाना. You must have seen so many people around you. That may be there may be some problems. Correct? We won't go into those problems now, and this lecture is not meant for that. But I'll just tell you in short that there may be some problems in males or there may be some problems in females. Maybe they are not able to produce good quality gametes, or enough quantity of gametes. Or it could be anything, problem with reproductive system or gametes, anything. Maybe they just don't want a child. नहीं चाहिए, सबको थोड़ी पसंद है बच्चा, सबको थोड़ी चाहिए, उनकी मर्जी नहीं चाहिए. Understand whatsoever is the reason. Sometimes understand there are some human couples who are not able to give birth, who are not able to produce a child. तो उनको हम infertile human couples कहते हैं. Fine, it's okay. But does that mean कि they also magically turned into a non-living thing? ऐसा है क्या? नहीं ना. So understand, whether it is mules or sterile worker bees or infertile human couples, though they are not able to reproduce, though they are not able to give birth to offsprings, they are still living things. Correct? They are still living things. They do not magically turn into non-living things just because they do not show reproduction. So what does this mean? This means that reproduction is not a defining characteristic. मतलब reproduction cannot define a living thing कि बाबा हाँ reproduction हुआ तो ही लिविंग थिंग है, नहीं रिप्रोडक्शन कर रहा है तो लिविंग थिंग नहीं है, मतलब नॉन लिविंग थिंग। ऐसा बिल्कुल नहीं है। I hope this is clear. Understand this because these questions are asked. Reproduction is not a defining characteristic of living organisms. They will ask true or false में पूछेंगे, या in some other way they may ask. Answer in one sentence, MCQ, है ना, कि reproduction is dash characteristic of living organism. So option में होगा defining characteristic, not a defining characteristic, है ना, both A and B, none of them, कुछ भी. So they will give some options. Remember this. The answer is reproduction is not a defining characteristic of living organisms, because whether living organisms are able to reproduce or not, they still remain living things. They do not magically convert into non-living things. ठीक है, तो एक रिप्रोडक्शन ये जो फैक्टर है वो लिविंग है या नॉन लिविंग है ये डिफाइन नहीं कर सकता. अगेन 10th स्टैंडर्ड तक हमने पढ़ा है कि लिविंग ऑर्गेनिजम्स रिप्रोड्यूस करते हैं, नॉन लिविंग ऑर्गेनिजम्स रिप्रोड्यूस नहीं करते हैं. फाइन, दैट्स ओके, बट थोड़े ये एग्जाम्पल्स भी देख लो, थोड़ा ऐसा जाने के बजाय थोड़ा ऐसे उल्टा जाओ तो यू विल अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट आई एम ट्राइंग टू से, है ना. सो दैट्स द रीजन बिकॉज these examples I have discussed with you. So reproduction is not a defining characteristic, okay, of living organisms. Chalo, let's move further. Consciousness. What do you mean by consciousness? Consciousness is, again, all living organisms are conscious, understand. That means we feel, you know, we can feel, we have sense organs, we can feel different types of senses. How and why? Because we have different sense organs, and that's why we are able to feel or sense. You can see the first point, it is the ability to sense their surroundings or environment and respond to this environmental stimuli. It could be physical, chemical, or biological, right? So for example, if I am ironing my clothes, if I'm ironing my clothes and suddenly I burn my hand, so obviously it will pain, and obviously I will shout in pain. Instantly that reaction would be instant. ऐसा है क्या कि अभी इस्त्री कर रही हूँ, मुझे चटका लग गया, एंड 1 घंटे बाद आफ्टर 1 hour आई स्क्रीम, ओ मुझे 1 घंटे पहले चटका लगा था, फील हो रहा है, अभी पेन हो रहा है. ऐसा नहीं होता ना, या ऐसा होता है? नहीं होता, राइट. आई होप यू आर गेटिंग व्हाट आई एम सेइंग. It is instant, the reaction is instant. When you get hurt or when you get burnt, let's say, okay, आप खेल रहे हो, गिर गए, आपको लग गया, है ना, तभी आप रोओगे या तभी आपको पेन होगा. इंस्टेंटली यू विल शाउट, आप चिल्लाओगे, ये नहीं कि बाद में. दैट इज बिकॉज वी कैन फील फिजिकली. कुछ अपने साथ एक्सीडेंटल हुआ, ओके, और वी गेट बर्न, या फिर acids, alkalis, practical in laboratory. Suppose you are working with acids and alkalis, and if a few drops of them, few drop of hydrochloric acid, let's say, if 1 or 2 drops, it falls on your hand, okay, it will burn your hand, understand, and you will be in pain, you will shout, you will scream, correct. So basically our body can sense physical, chemical, or any biological stimuli, and that are present in our surroundings or in our environment, and we respond to them, our body responds to them. This ability of responding to our environment, okay, or to the stimuli, whatever stimuli it is, physical, chemical, or biological, this ability is known as consciousness. Fine, it is also known as sensitivity. For example, you can see here seasonal breeding and photoperiodism. Seasonal breeding means what? Certain organisms, they can breed only in certain season, okay, because only those environmental conditions in a particular season, maybe environmental factors मतलब temperature, pH, है ना, तो वही factors उनके लिए are beneficial for reproduction, and those factors might not be present in other season, right? So they are not able to breed. So some organs can breed only in certain season, जैसे कि goat हो गया, है ना, sheep हो गया, there are many of them, horse हो गया, है ना, they will breed only in certain season, understand, उसको seasonal breeding कहते हैं. Photoperiodism means what? It is concerned with plants. Photoperiodism is the length of the day, okay, the length of the day, that is the duration of sunlight a plant receives, okay, length of the day, or you can say the duration of the light a plant receives, उसके ऊपर भी बहुत dependent होता है कि which plants will grow and which plants won't grow. So this is known as photoperiodism. So plants are sensitive to light, understand, है ना. Other organisms which we were talking about, seasonal breeders, they are sensitive, okay, to different environmental conditions. So this is found in all organisms, whether it is plants, microorganisms, humans, animals, reptiles, birds, anybody. It is found in all organisms from prokaryotes to the most complex eukaryotes. ये मत समझो कि हमको ही बस consciousness है, no. All organisms are conscious, that is aware of their living, of their surroundings. सबको अपना अपना knowledge है, सबको पता है, ठीक है. Human beings is the only species who is aware of itself, that is self consciousness. अब human beings थोड़े बड़े हैं, in the sense they belong to higher level, correct, we have complex bodies, complex organs, तो we are the only species aware about ourselves, उसको self consciousness कहते हैं. उसका मतलब क्या है कि we know how to behave in different situations, है ना. Sometimes in some cases certain animals may not understand that, may not know that, because they are not aware about themselves, understand. I'll give you examples and I will give you some examples and I'll explain. For example, if there is a birthday party, correct, if there is a birthday party of your friend, okay, and you go there, will you just sit in one corner with a sad face, है ना, किसी से बात नहीं करना, किसी को देखना नहीं, और ऐसे कुछ गंदे से कपड़े पहन के जाना, या घर वाले नॉर्मल अपने कपड़े पहन के जाना, विल यू डू दैट? And if you, when you go to a birthday party, you are just sitting in one corner and with a sad face, not talking to anybody, will you do that? You won't do that, right? You won't do so. So when you are in a birthday party, obviously you are in a happy mood. You will wear nice clothes. You know, you will go to your friend's house या जहाँ पे भी party रखी है, and you will enjoy. You will meet your friends, their family. You will greet all of them. Greet them. You will talk to them. Right? आप सबसे मिलोगे, हंसोगे, बातें करोगे. You will enjoy. You will participate. If some games are happening there, you will participate, or at least you will observe. You will clap. You will be in a happy mood. It's not that you will just sit in one corner with a sad face. That means you know कि if you go in a birthday party of your friend, or if you go in if you attend some wedding, you know how to behave there, correct. Similarly, let me give you one more example. If you go to somebody's funeral, funeral मतलब क्या होता है, डेथ, किसी की डेथ के बाद फ्यूनरल रखते हैं, है ना, कि मतलब whoever is died, मतलब उनके सोल को यू नो शांति मिलने के लिए, फॉर दैट मैटर. तो बेसिकली पीपल कम इन अ फ्यू एंड नॉट जस्ट दैट, फ्यूनरल में एज पर द डिफरेंट ट्रेडिशंस, है ना, डिफरेंट एक्ट्स आर बीन परफॉर्म. जैसे कि अगर हिंदू है देन द बॉडी इज बर्न, डेड बॉडी इज बर्न. इफ क्रिश्चियंस या मुस्लिम्स, देन बॉडी को दफनाया जाता है. सो एंड वी गो देयर. तो पॉइंट क्या है यहाँ पे, इफ़ यू गो टू समबडीज फ्यूनरल, आप सिंपल क्लोथ्स पहन के जाओगे, और अब यहाँ पे आप शांत रहोगे, है ना. इफ बहुत ही क्लोज है तो ऑब्वियसली यू वोंट बी एबल टू कंट्रोल योरसेल्फ, यू विल क्राई, और एटलीस्ट यू विल बी सैड. ये नहीं कि आप वहाँ पे अभी अच्छे से बहुत चमक धमक कपड़े पहन के जा रहे हो, एंड यू आर लाफिंग एंड गिगलिंग एंड रनिंग फ्रॉम हियर एंड देयर एंड ग्रीटिंग एंड टॉकिंग टू एवरीबडी. यू डोंट डू दैट, अंडरस्टैंड. जैसे शादी में या बर्थडे पार्टी में बिहेव करते हो, यू वोंट बिहेव in the same manner when you go to somebody's funeral. राइट? अगर ऐसा करोगे तो मार पड़ेगी, पागल बोलेंगे लोग, है कि नहीं? सो वी डोंट डू दैट। क्यों? क्योंकि हमें पता है कि कब कहाँ कैसे बिहेव करना है, मम्मी से कैसे बात करनी है, टीचर से कैसे बात करनी है ना, प्रिंसिपल से कैसे बात करनी है, अयो, है ना, स्कूल या कॉलेज प्रिंसिपल जैसे मम्मी डैडी से बात करते हैं घर पे, यू कैन नॉट टॉक इन द सेम मैनर टू योर कॉलेज प्रिंसिपल, है कि नहीं? सो पॉइंट इज, अभी ऐसे बाकी के एनिमल्स है जैसे डॉग है, वो चाहे बर्थडे पार्टी में आया हो, स्ट्रीट डॉग का एग्जांपल ले लो, या कहीं फ्यूनरल में आया हो, वो अपना अपना अपने ही वर्ल्ड में रहते हैं, उनको नहीं पता कि एग्जैक्टली मतलब क्या हो रहा है एंड क्या करना चाहिए, है ना? सो आई होप यू गॉट दिस। मैंने कुछ एग्जाम्पल्स देके आपको सेल्फ कॉन्शियसनेस के बारे में एक्सप्लेन किया। बहुत सारे एनिमल्स में सेल्फ कॉन्शियस भी होती है, ऐसा नहीं है कि नहीं है, बट टू द हाइएस्ट लेवल उनमें थोड़ा बहुत होता है। टू द हाइएस्ट लेवल ह्यूमन बींग्स इज द ओनली स्पीशीज अवेयर ऑफ इट सेल्फ, देयरफॉर, लेकिन कॉन्शियसनेस तो सब में है, एंड देयरफॉर कॉन्शियसनेस इज द डिफाइनिंग प्रॉपर्टी ऑफ ऑल लिविंग ऑर्गेनिजम्स। ठीक है? Patients lying in coma in hospitals, they do not have self consciousness, right? They are not non living. Like, they do understand. Patients who are lying in coma in hospitals, of course, they do not have self consciousness. But that does not mean they are non living. They are still living. है ना? क्यों? नॉन लिविंग नहीं है, दे आर स्टिल लिविंग। अगर नॉन लिविंग होते तो वहां रखते क्यों उनको फर्स्ट इन द फर्स्ट प्लेस? व्हाई वुड डॉक्टर्स एंगेज द हॉस्पिटल बेड्स एंड कीप देम देयर? अगर वो नॉन लिविंग होते तो उनको निकाल दिया जाता वहां से, डेड बॉडी कंसिडर करके, करेक्ट? सो अंडरस्टैंड, पेशेंट्स लिविंग इन कोमा, lying in coma in hospitals, they are not non living, they are living. Of course, they do not have self consciousness, but many of their organs or parts, they show certain features of living beings, है ना? Point is, some parts are working. What does this point means? In a coma patient, at least some organs or certain parts of some organs are still working. Okay, so they are not all the organs are have not completely become non-functional. So partly certain organs are working. Sometimes some coma patients are also kept on life support. है ना? What do you mean by life support? जैसे कि किसी मशीन पे, है ना, there would be a machine. Suppose partly heart is working, partly it's not working. Then that patient may be kept on a machine which will perform the function of heart, that is pumping blood. है ना? या lungs, for example. Kidneys for example. So they are attacked, certain machines also help, that उसको life support कहते हैं. ब्रीदिंग प्रॉब्लम्स होते हैं, लंग्स किसी का थोड़ा डैमेज होता है तो ऑक्सीजन दिया जाता है एक्सटर्नली, करेक्ट? सो व्हाट डज ऑल दिस मीन्स कि वो लाइफ सपोर्ट पे है, दे आर ऑन द लाइफ सपोर्ट, करेक्ट? देन डेथ किसको कंसिडर करने का? इफ अ पेशेंट इज ब्रेन डेड, अंडरस्टैंड, व्हेन अ डॉक्टर सेज कि ये पेशेंट ब्रेन डेड है, ओके, कंप्लीटली ब्रेन डेड, उनको हम कहते हैं पर्सन इज मतलब डेथ ऑफ अ पर्सन हैज अकर्ड. तो ब्रेन डेड मतलब कंप्लीट, नॉट इवन द सिंगल सेल ऑफ ब्रेन इज वर्किंग, okay, not a single part of brain is working. That time we say doctor will declare if this patient is brain dead, तो उनको तभी हम uh, we may say कि yes they are not living now, yeah they are dead now. ठीक है? So remember this. So yes, again here I have put this slide as you all can see. Consciousness. What can you see here in consciousness? Ears, eyes, skin. We can hear from with our eyes. We can see with our eyes, है ना? Then skin, feel. We can feel. Nose, we can smell. We breathe. Tongue, okay, we can taste different food items. So these all are our sense organs. because of them we are able to, we have self consciousness or consciousness. ये साइड में क्या इमेज दिखाया है, क्या रिप्रेजेंट कर रहा है, व्हाट इज इट रिप्रेजेंटिंग? दैट इमेज इज रिप्रेजेंटिंग actually that image is representing consciousness, overall consciousness, or you can say self consciousness, है ना, because all these things are ultimately related to brain. All the controls are with brain, है ना, final regulation is with brain. That's why they have shown a brain and a light coming out of it, which shows, okay, which is actually representing that humans are the highest order species, and we are aware about self-conscious. We are self-conscious. So that is the that image is indicating that. Okay. So I won't start with taxonomical aids in this lecture. मैंने डाला था बट अभी अपना कवर नहीं होगा पूरा. तो what I will do is in the third lecture, है ना, in the third lecture I will talk about taxonomical aids. We'll start with taxonomical aids in my third lecture. So there of course I will tell you what are taxonomical aids, what is herbarium, है ना. तो ये सारे slides हम next lecture में definitely discuss करेंगे. Do attend my third lecture or see the recording of my third lecture. ठीक है, उसमें मैं वो सब cover करूँगी. तो what we'll do is now we'll just see the poll, है ना, whatever we discussed today. We discussed two important parameters, basic principles of life, reproduction. Then we also spoke about consciousness, है ना. Reproduction में what is reproduction, significance of reproduction, types of reproduction, asexual, sexual, then examples, then how mules, sterile worker honeybees, or infertile human couples, how they are not though they are not able to reproduce, that does not mean they are non-living, which shows us that reproduction is not a defining or it's not an inclusive property of living beings or living things. है ना. Then we also discussed about consciousness. I gave you different examples, several examples, and explained you कि what is consciousness, what is responsiveness to stimuli, and what do you mean by self consciousness, what are the sense organs. तो ये सारी चीज़ें हमने की. तो भी whatever we did in today's class, based on that, let's discuss some questions. The first is, reproduction is a defining characteristic of living organisms. So answer is, अभी just बोला ना कि reproduction is not a defining characteristic of living organisms. The reason I already explained. So answer over here is false. This is related to herbarium. ये हम कल करेंगे. Yes, ये दो अभी कर सकते हैं. Coma patients are living, non-living, partially alive, none of the above. या तो लिविंग होता है या तो नॉन लिविंग होता. पार्शियली अलाइव ऐसा करके कुछ नहीं होता. So I just explained you about coma patients. So obviously coma patients are living. So if this question comes in exam, now I'm very sure that you will mark the correct answer. The answer is living. Fine. Fourth one, the breakdown reactions in which energy is released are called as dash reactions. The answer is, see, breakdown reactions, metabolism. Yesterday's class I had discussed this. Catabolic reactions, है ना, जो भी breakdown के reactions हैं उनको catabolic reactions कहते हैं. Fifth one is again related to taxonomical aid. I'll cover this in my tomorrow's lecture. So the sixth question, the inclusive property or characteristic of living things is consciousness, reproduction, growth, or all of the above. Inclusive property or characteristic of living beings is, living things is. Understand, I explained you. Reproduction is not an inclusive property because there are certain living organisms who cannot reproduce but still they are living. इसीलिए reproduction inclusive property नहीं है. Same with growth. Of course, living organisms grow and non-living things do not grow. But there are some non-living things, I gave you examples also, Under certain conditions they show growth and development, though it is external, temporary, irreversible, है ना, but they do show growth. Therefore एक तो हम ऐसा नहीं तो कह सकते ना कि ग्रोथ नहीं हो रहा है तो बस नॉन लिविंग, नो, नॉन लिविंग थिंग्स में भी होता है, ऑफ कोर्स कंडीशनल है बट होता है. तो ग्रोथ ऑल्सो इट्स नॉट इंक्लूसिव प्रॉपर्टी. आई होप दिस इज क्लियर. सो द आंसर इज कॉन्शियसनेस. कॉन्शियसनेस इज द इंक्लूसिव प्रॉपर्टी और कैरेक्टरिस्टिक ऑफ लिविंग थिंग्स, है ना, क्योंकि वो सिर्फ और सिर्फ लिविंग थिंग्स में है. नॉन लिविंग थिंग्स डू नॉट शो एनी काइंड ऑफ कॉन्शियसनेस. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, if my mobile phone falls down on the ground, on a stone, let's say, and it breaks, will it cry? उसको दुखेगा, पेन होगा, वो रोएगा? No. In fact, I will cry because there will be a hole in my pocket. I hope you understood. मेरे पैसे बर्बाद होंगे. लेट्स से मैंने नया ही मोबाइल लिया है एंड समहाउ वो गिर गया स्टोन पे, ब्रेक हो गया. मोबाइल को कुछ नहीं होगा, मोबाइल वोंट क्राई, आई विल क्राई, राइट, क्योंकि मेरे पैसे जाएंगे ना, एक तो गए ऑलरेडी, एंड रिपेयर करने में या नया मोबाइल लेने में अगेन मोर मनी वुड गो. अंडरस्टैंड? आई होप यू गॉट दिस. सो मोबाइल फोन को कुछ नहीं होगा. इवन इफ आई थ्रो अ वाटर बॉटल from this chair where I'm sitting, if I throw it, to the other corner of the room, that bottle is not going to cry या फिर भाग के आएगी, मुझ पे गुस्सा करेगी, डॉटर वो सॉरी, इट्स नॉट कि बॉटल मुझे उठा के फेंक देगी. नथिंग ऑफ दैट सॉर्ट विल हैपन. That's because consciousness is a property only of living things. नॉन लिविंग थिंग्स को पटको, मारो, फेंको, तोड़ो, उनको कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ता, उल्टा नुकसान अपना ही है, उनको कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ता. ठीक है, सो दे वोंट रिएक्ट. करेक्ट. सो योर आंसर इज कॉन्शियसनेस. सो आई होप दिस इज क्लियर. I hope you enjoyed my session. If you have any queries, any doubts, you can always ask me in the chat box. I will definitely answer all your questions. Okay. So you can use my YouTube referral code, that is APMAM Live. These are recorded sessions, but soon I will be going live and I'll meet you all there. ठीक है, चलो, bye all of you. Have a good day. Stay safe. Take care. Bye.